Hey everyone, my name is Nicole Kristal. I'm an occupational therapist at Emerge Pediatric Therapy, and this is going to be a mini series on executive functions. Executive functioning has recently, in the last 5 to 10 years, become somewhat of a buzzword, but many of us don't have a clear understanding of what that means. So in this series, I want to give you a brief overview of what executive functions are, and then talk you through some strategies to help support the development of each specific executive functioning skill area. So what are executive functions in a nutshell? Well, executive functions are a set of higher level brain skills that help us to function in our daily lives. For example, let's take the task of going to the kitchen to get a glass of milk. First, it requires me to recognize my body as thirsty. Then to stand up from my couch, walk to my kitchen, focused enough on my task of getting milk that I don't become distracted by the chips that are sitting on the counter before I get to the refrigerator. Having chips would only make me thirstier and perhaps not be such a healthy thing to put in my body first thing in the morning. Then I have to be able to choose a glass from the counter, an appropriate glass, recognizing that perhaps my parents' fine china or crystal goblet would not be the right choice for using for drinking a glass of milk. I'd have to also be able to figure out, if I couldn't find a glass in the cabinet, where I would go to look for an appropriate glass. Once I found a glass, I'd have to prepare the glass on the counter. Then I'd have to open the refrigerator and again, avoid temptations to select other things in the fridge that are not my milk. Take the milk out of the refrigerator, have the skill and ability to think about not keeping the refrigerator open for an unending amount of time. I'd have to take my milk out, put it on the counter, open the milk, pour it into my cup, close the milk, put it back in the fridge, and close my refrigerator. That's just the set of steps required for me to get a glass of milk. Now, if I have impaired executive functions, there are some things that could be challenging for me about this task. One could be my working memory. If my working memory is impaired, I might forget what I was going to the kitchen for and instead leave with something I never intended, like some chips and dip, never really meeting the initial need of being thirsty. I might lack the emotional control to make a choice like that. I might really struggle with thinking through the sequence of expected next steps. So I may forget to close the refrigerator or forget to put the milk back in the refrigerator. All of these things would negatively impact my ability to move towards goals. Certainly, I wouldn't have my need for a beverage to be satisfied in that moment. So, executive functions are important to us, specifically to our children, because they allow for children to move towards their goals. The things that they hope for, the things they hope to achieve in their futures really are possible because of executive functions. So in the next few weeks to follow, I'm going to unpack all of the executive skill areas and give you some ways to help your child work on those things. So for today, I'm just going to quickly give you a list of what the executive functions are that we'll be talking about in the upcoming weeks. The first is response inhibition, then working memory, emotional control, sustained attention, task initiation, planning and prioritizing, organization, time management, goal-directed persistence, and metacognition. Stay tuned to the next few episodes so that you can get a more thorough understanding of executive functions and learn how to support your child. Thank you so much for tuning into this introduction, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.